Hi, this is Juliet again. I think it's day 6. I'm starting to lose track of the video challenge. And today I wanted to read something for you, and I've got a book recommendation for you. You may or may not have heard of Brenè Brown. If you haven't, you need to check her out. She's got a couple of really awesome TED Talks. But I want to read something from her book, The Gifts of Imperfection. This is what the book looks like. And it's an awesome, awesome book. I strongly recommend it on so many different levels. Brenè Brown started out as a shame researcher. I bet they never told you about that in a careers office. And she's gone on to do the most amazing work about living from a wholehearted place. And this book is filled with lots of inspiration. She's got a subsequent book called Daring Greatly, which is as good. But if you haven't read her at all, I would really recommend that you start with this, The Gifts of Imperfection. And here's what she says at the end of one of the chapters. Owning our story can be hard, but not nearly as difficult as spending our lives running from it. Embracing our vulnerability is risky, but not nearly as dangerous as giving up on love and belonging and joy, the experiences that make us most vulnerable. Only when we are brave enough to explore the darkness will we discover the infinite power of our light. And so I just really wanted to share that with you today because I think it's really relevant. It's really easy for us to be on this pathway of self-discovery, but how good are we when it doesn't feel like we're doing so well? I think then there's a tendency, and I certainly fall foul of this, there's a tendency to criticize ourselves, to verbally and mentally beat ourselves up on the inside, when in truth all we need to do is recognize that we're human, that we're vulnerable, that sometimes we foul up, and the best we can do is apologize in those moments. And so if you're struggling at the moment, if you're finding like life isn't quite going the way you were hoping it would, be gentle with yourself. Recognize that owning your story, just as Brenè talks about there, owning your story is part of the journey of life. It's part of that journey of learning more about who we are, of growing beyond those things that are hidden in the subconscious mind. Be gentle, allow the unfolding, and know that you cannot not be vulnerable. There's an old phrase, and I may have already used it on one of these videos. Our armor ultimately becomes our prison. When we try and defend ourselves against vulnerability, against being hurt, against being brokenhearted, against any kind of suffering, we end up building brick walls around our heart. And that really doesn't take us anywhere that's joyful. So let down your barriers, allow yourself to be vulnerable, and just be gentle with yourself as you unfold along this journey of life. And above all, expect a spectacular day. I am enjoying doing these videos. They're really challenging me. Sometimes I find myself putting them off until the last thing. But I hope they're making a difference in your life because they're definitely making a difference in mine. So thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.